everyone, I'm Morgan, and today I wanted to talk to you about the books I DNF'd in the second part of the year, so in April, May and June. So I know I'm kind of late in making this video, but it's never too late and I took my time apparently. So this quarter actually I didn't DNF that many books, which is both good or bad, because I kind of forced myself to finish some books because of readathons, and also just I have been mood reading a bit more. So when I mood read, like, I pick up things that I'm more in the mood for, and so it works out better usually. And so I haven't been picking up those books that don't seem as much my thing. But yeah, anyway, I did DNF 4 books in the second quarter, so I'm going to tell you what they were. So the first book I DNF'd was one that I tried to read for the BookTube afterwards, and actually 2 of them are, and it is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This is a YA fantasy book, historical fiction also, and I just could not get on with this book. Like, I DNF'd it pretty early on. I didn't like the writing at all, like the characters were almost not there. I mean, they were not developed at all, and I can't get on with that. I mean, I'm fine if a story is plot driven, it's not the point, but I need the characters to be developed at least a little bit. Like, I need to feel them, and I just could not in this book at all. And from the beginning, like, the story also I just didn't care for, so I don't know, I DNF'd it really fast, and I don't feel sorry about it. And the other book that I DNF'd for the BookTube afterwards is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alix Harrow. This book is also historical fiction fantasy and YA, and I don't know about this book. Like, from what I've seen, people either hate this book or love it, and I'm definitely more in the category who hates it. This was set, I don't know, in the 1900s perhaps. I honestly don't remember a thing about this book. I think I just wasn't interested. Like, I read 40% of it. Like, it wasn't that hard to read, like, it wasn't the most horrible book I've ever read, but I really did not care for it. Like, I must have mostly followed this girl who finds a book, I think, and she sees that she can get into other worlds, like it's portal fantasy, but I don't know, I didn't care about her character and about the story. Like, it was really confusing also because we kept going to other perspectives, because she like found a book about someone else, and then in this book, so she read the story, and this person that she was reading about was also finding out about someone else, and so there was a story within a story within a story, and I was just really confused, and that's not what I like. So similarly to what was this book, like, by the author of The Night Circus, I'll put it here, I can't remember right now, but this also like had different worlds and such. It was just so confusing and I could not get on with it. So yeah. The third book that I DNF'd in the second quarter is The Stand by Stephen King. I was really sad about this because I was really liking this book in the beginning, but the problem is I have the extended version, which is more than 1,200 pages long, and that's just too long. Basically, I think it's 300 pages longer than the typical version for the extended, and they just don't need to be there at all. Like, I read about 400, 500 pages, but I just could not get on because it was so boring. Like, nothing was happening, and I read more than 200 pages of nothing happening before I gave up, because I don't know how someone can read that. And actually I saw some reviews who were talking about the extended version and saying that they would like to try the normal version one day, but they still finished it. But I don't know, I could not, and I was really disappointed. Like, yeah, originally like the story is pretty interesting. I mean, it's about this pandemic that is happening and that is killing people at like 97.8% chance. So many people have died. Like, there are only a few people who have survived, and we follow these survivors. And at the beginning we also follow the people who are officials, because this pandemic didn't just happen. It came from some laboratory that had something that got out, and so they were trying to hide that it came from them, obviously. And that was really interesting, like, to follow them and just how a pandemic starts, you know. And but the rest, like, we follow these people who are trying to find the last survivors because they don't want to be alone, because humans don't like to be alone. And that was really interesting, but eventually like something needs to happen, and it didn't. And we just kept following new characters over and over, and I don't want to be introduced to too many characters. Like, at the halfway point we should have been introduced to everyone and we weren't. So yeah, I'm disappointed, but maybe one day I will try to read the normal version and I will get better. But I could not continue. And the last book I DNF'd was Outlander by Gabaldon. I tried reading this one on audiobook because that makes everything easier typically, but man, did I not care about this book. Like, so this book, if y'all know, is about this woman who finds herself going back to the 1800s. And honestly, I've never read about such a stupid character in my life. Like, she was so stupid. Like, everything that she was saying, like, first she couldn't even believe that she was in another place. I mean, I know that reading it, obviously I was expecting that to happen because people always say that this is about time travel, but still, like, when you see that everything is different around you, don't you think like something is different? But no, that's not how she was reacting. Like, she was seeing that everything was different, but she was like, well, how am I going to go home, you know? Like, well, figure it out. I mean, she still like reacts eventually, but she really struggles to believe something else, and that was weird for me. And just the whole thing, like, at first she is with her husband and sometimes they're having sex, and I don't know, like, I hated this character so much. And it's not like an unlikable character, it's just a stupid one, you know. And yeah, I didn't want to read. I didn't care. Like, also the time period that she goes to, I don't care about whatsoever. So this book was just not for me, and the writing was really bad. I mean, it felt like, I don't know, not chick lit, but just, it's not literary fiction, you know, and that's fine sometimes, but if it's not, then the story needs to be really interesting and move forward, and that's not it. Like, I read about 100 pages before I DNF'd it, and really almost nothing had happened. So how come? Like, how come? In 100 pages something should have happened. Like, I should know what's going to go on, but no. And all she can think of also when she goes in the past is to avoid getting raped. And like, I understand, but also at some point she just is contemplating having sex with someone else, though a second before she was talking about the fact that she didn't want to get raped. And so you're like, so if he's hot then it's fine. Like, what? So yeah, I could not with this book. I'm really happy I DNF'd it also because I saw some reviews of it and everyone I saw said it was trash. So yeah. But I don't really understand because a few years ago I remember seeing so many great reviews and that's why I bought the book, and also because lots of people talk about the TV show, but I don't get it. Like, what is good about this book? Please tell me. Like, I want to know. But yeah, that's the last book I had to talk about for today. I've actually DNF'd a lot more books in Q3 that we are in, and so yeah, you'll hear about that in a few months. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. Please tell me if you have read any of these books and what you thought of them, as I would love to know. And thank you for watching again. I hope to see you in another video. Goodbye. Dream I know, deep up my feelings.